It's no secret that there are some major shifts happening in the real estate market, and I would even argue that they've already happened and are going to continue to shift a little bit more. So as a buyer or seller in 2022, what sort of shifts are going to become relevant as we move forward? So here are 3 things that are becoming very relevant in today's real estate market. And let me just start off by saying the market's not going to completely crash, but there are some shifts coming and I want you to manage your expectations. And the first thing that I want to talk about is sold in one day. In 2020 and 2021, selling a house in 24 hours didn't matter all that much because it almost came to be the expectation. It was expected if you had a decent house that it was going to fly off the market with multiple offers. But as we move into 2022, that stat is going to matter a whole lot more. If you hear sold in one day in today's market, something special is happening. Right now, our average days on market until contract is about 6, which is up from the 2 or 3 or 4 we saw earlier. And number 2 is sold for record price. Every single house in 2020 and 2021 sold for a record price. So again, it's one of those things we hear that didn't carry a whole lot of weight because it became the norm. But as days on market increases, as the inventory starts to come up and houses sit for a little bit longer, they may not be getting the multiple offers they were the last 2 years. So keep an ear out because selling for record price in today's market and in the near future is going to mean a whole lot more. And the third thing that's becoming really relevant in today's market is sold for over asking price. Any listing that was worth taking a look at over the last 2 years sold for over asking price. But as more sellers put their house on the market and there's more options out there for buyers, selling over asking price is going to become more and more rare. For example, if I was going to sell you this water bottle, last year I would have said I wanted $50 for it. And you know what? You would have offered me $65, and you would have lost because they would have offered me $70. But in today's market, this water bottle would come for sale for $50. It would probably sit on the shelf for a few days, and you might offer me $45, maybe $48 to see if I'm willing to negotiate. That right there is the perfect microcosm of what's happening in today's market. I'm still getting a great price for this water bottle. It's just not quite as bananas as it was before. So this is the bottom line. As inventory starts to increase, we're not going to see houses sold in a single day. We're not necessarily going to see record prices or everything selling tens of thousands of dollars over asking. But as the market shifts, we're not crashing, we're returning to a normal market. Think about 2018 and 2019. It was great, everybody was happy, the market was strong. It just wasn't completely insane. So as we return to this normal market, make sure you're shifting your expectations as a buyer and a seller. And as this shift happens, remember, it's a different market, not a bad one. But if you are an owner of a property and you're considering whether or not it's time to sell, let me tell you, you are losing your upper hand by the day. So don't miss my video on whether or not it's the right time to sell. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.